Hello students. So today we will start with a new chapter, that is heredity and evolution. But before really starting with this chapter, I would like to explain you few basic terms like chromosomes, chromatin, DNA, genes, meiosis, mitosis. So it is very important to understand these few basic concepts before really starting with heredity and evolution. Otherwise, you will not understand the chapter properly. Okay, now what is heredity material? What do you understand by heredity material? Anyone can answer. DNA is called as the heredity material. DNA or chromosome, that is called as the heredity material because it passes from the parents to the offspring, and this heredity material, that is chromosome or DNA, contains all the information about an individual. Whatever we are, that everything is present, all the information is present in chromosome in the form of genes. Your eye color, your hair color, your diseases, your behavior, each and everything is present in the chromosomes. So it is these chromosomes which passes from the parent to the offspring, and so this information also passes from the parent to the offspring. Okay, regarding this in detail we will discuss later. Second question is where it is found. The heredity material DNA or chromosomes, that is found in the nucleus of the cell. Next question, what are prokaryotes? Prokaryotes are those organisms in which the heredity material lies naked in the cytoplasm. They are not surrounded, because the heredity material is not surrounded by the nuclear membrane. How many pairs of chromosomes are present in humans? In humans, there are 23 pairs of chromosomes. Means there are total 46 chromosomes. Okay, so all these things we will discuss in detail. Then chapter heredity and evolution will become easier for you. Now we will start with the basic things. Students, the cells are of two types. In our body, cells are present. You all know that the basic unit of life is cells. Different types of cells are present which form different types of tissues. Now, there are two types of cells. One is somatic cells, which are also called as body cells, and another are sex cells, which are called as gametes. Now, what are body cells? First of all, these body cells are present in the body of the organisms. Okay, and these cells have 2n chromosomes. Now, what are 2n chromosomes? First of all, you all know that in the cell nucleus is present, and in the nucleus chromosomes are present. And you also know that in humans there are 46 chromosomes, or there are 23 pairs of chromosomes. Now, it is written here, body cell has 2n chromosomes, mean they have double dose of chromosomes. That is, they have 23 pairs of chromosomes. 2n means 23 pairs of chromosomes or 46 chromosomes. If 2n is 23 pairs or if 2n is 46 chromosomes, then what will be n? What will be half set of chromosome? That will be 23. So 2n means double set of chromosome. So 2n is double set of chromosome, which is 23 pairs or 46 chromosomes, and n, that is single set of chromosomes, means 23 chromosomes. Now, body cells, they divide mitotically, producing two daughter cells. Now, you all know that the cells, sometimes they rupture, they mature, and what they do? They divide. So cell increases in number, but body cells, the cells, somatic cells or the body cells, they divide mitotically. It means one cell, it will grow, it will become mature, it will divide into two cells. And in both the cells, okay, one cell will divide into two cells, and in both the cells there will be diploid set of chromosomes. Means In both the cells, there will be 46 chromosomes or 23 pairs of chromosomes. So all the body cells contain diploid dose of chromosome or 46 chromosomes or 2n chromosomes. Okay. Now we come to gametes. Gametes have haploid dose of chromosomes. It's very important for you to remember this thing and understand this thing. Gametes have haploid dose of chromosomes means gametes have 23 chromosomes or gametes have n dose of chromosomes. Okay, they are formed by the division of germ cells. Now, first of all, these gametes, they are present in the reproductive organs only. Body cells are present in the body. Okay, but gametes are present only in the reproductive organs. These gametes or these sex cells are not present in the body cells. These sex cells are not present in the cells of the skin, cells of the nervous tissue or muscle cells. No. These gametes, which are also called as sex cells, are present only in the reproductive organs. And they have haploid dose of chromosome that I have told you before also. That is, they have half the number of chromosomes. They are found only in the reproductive organs and they are formed by division of germ cells. Now, in the reproductive organs, germ cells are there, or you can say they are cells. In reproductive organs, they are cells which contain diploid dose of chromosomes, means they have 46 chromosomes. Germ cells of the reproductive organs, germ cells of reproductive organs have 2n chromosomes or 46 chromosomes. Now these germ cells, they divide meiotically, or these germ cells, they divide meiotically and they form 4 cells, and these 4 cells have haploid number of chromosome or haploid dose of chromosome. Is it clear to all of you? That in the reproductive organs, germ cells are there which contains 2n chromosomes, which contains diploid dose of chromosomes or which contains 46 chromosomes. Now these germ cells in the reproductive organs, they divide meiotically. They divide and they form 4 cells. Body cells divide mitotically and they form 2 cells, whereas the germ cells, they divide meiotically and they form 4 cells. And in all the 4 cells, the number of chromosome is half. There is single set of chromosomes, that is 23. Whereas in body cells, in body cells, one cell divide mitotically to produce 2 cells, and in both the cells, the chromosomes are double. There are diploid dose of chromosomes. I hope it is clear to everyone. Okay. Now, in the reproductive organs, these germ cells, they form what? They form 4 cells, and these 4 cells have half the number of chromosomes. These 4 cells of the reproductive organs which have haploid dose of chromosomes or which have single set of chromosomes are called as gametes or sex cells. Is it clear to you, students? Germ cells are diploid. Germ cells of the reproductive organs, they divide meiotically. I will tell you what is meiosis. They divide meiotically and they form 4 cells, and all the 4 cells have single dose of chromosomes, that is haploid dose of chromosomes, and they are called as gametes. As I told you in the beginning, the gametes have haploid dose of chromosomes and body cells have diploid dose of chromosomes, or body cell have 2n chromosomes and gametes have n chromosomes. Is it clear? Now, male human gamete is called as sperm, and the female human gamete, that is called as the ova. And these gametes are formed where? They are formed in the reproductive organs. So, sperm, which is a male human gamete, that is formed in testes. The male reproductive organ is testes. So, the sperm is formed in testes, and what is the female reproductive organ? That is ovary. Okay, and here the ova is formed. Is it clear to all of you? I hope. What is the difference between the two? So, the sperms and ova, they are actually the gametes, and they have half the number of chromosomes. Is it clear to all of you? The difference between the two. Now we come to haploid cells. What are haploid cells? Haploid cells are the cells which have the single set of chromosomes, that is N, and what are diploid cells? Which have double set of chromosomes, that is 2N. 2 into, if N is 23, then 2 into N or 2 into 23, it will be 46 chromosomes. Is it clear to everyone? Now, so students, please understand it nicely, okay, that gametes have half the number of chromosomes. Now we come to chromatin. You can see in the slide, or you can also see in the picture. What is chromatin? Now you have studied that the chromosomes are the hereditary material that is present in the nucleus. Nucleus is present in the cell. Okay, but actually what are chromosomes? What are chromatin? What is DNA? Okay, what is chromatin? In the young cell, okay, when the cell is young, you will see in the nucleus long thread-like coil structures are present, which is called as a chromatin. You can see here also in the nucleus, you can see this long coil thread-like structure. This is actually the chromatin. But what is it? Chromatin is nothing but it is a DNA which is coiled round a protein called as histones. So much detail is not needed, but for your understanding I am telling you. Chromatin is what? It is the DNA which is coiled round the protein histone. You can see in the second picture here that you can see here blue color thread, and you can see that this blue color thread is coiled. It is wrapped around some yellow structure. So that yellow structure you can see here, it's written histones, and this thread is actually the DNA. And you can also see in the beginning, this thread is DNA, but this is DNA. In the beginning you can see this double helical structure which is coiled around each other. This is actually the structure of the DNA. Okay? And at the end chromosome is shown, so that I will tell you afterwards what is chromosome. But chromatin is nothing but it is the DNA which is coiled around a histone protein, and the structure of DNA is shown in the beginning. Okay. Now students, what happens in undivided cells? You all know that the cell, after it reaches maturity, the cell divides into two cells. Okay. Now mitotically also, meiotically also, cell divides. In germ cells they divide into 4 cells, and whereas your body cells divide into 2 cells. But division is there. Now in the undivided cell there is a chromatin is present. Okay, but when the cells matures and when they are about to divide, what happens? This chromatin is very, very, very long fiber. It cannot fit properly into the nucleus. So what happens? Just before the division starts, the chromatin condenses and it becomes shorter. It condenses means what? It coils around each other. Okay, very tightly it coils and it becomes shorter and it forms chromosomes. Okay, you can see here in the picture, you can see one chromosome unduplicated, and another picture you can see one chromosome duplicated. I will tell you later on what is the difference between duplicated and unduplicated, but just for the time being, remember that chromatin, it condenses and it forms a chromosomes which are shorter in size. Okay, what are chromosomes? They are the thread-like structures which is located inside the nucleus of the animal and the plant cells, and each chromosome is made up of a protein and a large molecule of deoxyribonucleic acid and is passed from parent to offspring. And this DNA contains the specific function instruction that makes each type of living creature unique. So this chromosome is formed by coiling up of or by condensation of chromatin. Now one chromosome, can you see, please see here in the slide students or in the picture, can you see where chromosome is written? So there is one single blue color line and on the other side there are two blue color line which is joined together. So chromatin, it condenses to form this single one chromosome unduplicated. Okay. Now this chromosome is what actually, what is chromosome? It is a DNA structure. Chromosome is a DNA structure. You can see on the other side DNA of chromosome is written. So this one chromosome or unduplicated chromosome is nothing but it is this DNA which you can see on the other side. Is it clear? Where it is written DNA of chromosome, we can say this also as an unduplicated one chromosome. So chromosome is nothing but it is DNA. And you can see here the structure of DNA. You can see there are two strands on the sides. There are two strands which coil around each other. So we can say that it has a double helical structure because on two sides there are two strands. Now these two strands are made up of sugar phosphate. And in the center you can see some rods are there. In the center nitrogenous bases are present. No need to go in detail about the structure of DNA. You only have to remember that chromosome is nothing but it is DNA. And DNA, this is the structure of DNA. Okay. So this is unduplicated chromosome. Just remember the chromatin, it condenses to form a unduplicated chromosome. Okay, rest we will do in next class. Thank you, students.
Excretion, renal failure and dialysis. We all know that kidneys are one of the most vital organs for our survival. They are involved in the removal of harmful nitrogenous wastes produced by our body during various metabolic processes. Though the kidneys remain active throughout life, their efficiency gradually declines with normal aging process. Infections, injury, or restricted blood flow to the kidneys are some other factors that are responsible for decline in the normal functioning of kidneys. Loss of the ability of kidneys to function properly is generally referred to as kidney failure. In case of failure of both the kidneys, immediate medical intervention is sought. There are two alternative treatments for kidney failure. First, kidney transplant from a healthy person. And second, using an artificial kidney to get rid of harmful metabolic wastes from the blood and maintain normal level of water and mineral ions in the body fluids. With the help of an artificial kidney, blood is pumped out of the body into the artificial kidney. Heparin is added to the blood to prevent it from clotting. The blood then circulates slowly through the long tubes with semi-permeable lining coiled in a tank filled with dialysing solution. During this passage, the waste products such as ions, small molecules and water diffuse into the dialysing fluid, thus leaving the blood purified. Molecules such as blood corpuscles, platelets and proteins being too large do not pass through the membrane. Finally, the purified blood is pumped back into the patient. This entire process of purifying blood using an artificial kidney is termed as dialysis.